Going to begin with the fallout from the national security breach in the Trump administration. A reporter was mistakenly included in a group chat about an attack in Yemen on a publicly available messaging app. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, is tracking the latest for us. Good morning to you, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. If adversaries had managed to hack those messages, this could have potentially cost lives. The president's national security team apparently using personal phones to talk about war planning. And one of the members of the chat group, according to the timeline, was in Russia at the time. This morning, fallout from that stunning lapse in national security. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, along with other top members of President Trump's national security team, sharing details about a planned large-scale attack on Yemen earlier this month on the commercial message app Signal, and inadvertently including journalist Jeffrey Goldberg on that chain.
I think that this is a spoof. I think that someone is running a hoax.
In an article published Monday, the editor-in-chief at The Atlantic saying just days before the U.S. attack on the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen, he received a connection request from what appeared to be National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, and was then added to a chat group called Houthi PC Small Group. PC, or Principals Committee, generally refers to a group of the senior-most national security officials.
My reaction was, I think I've discovered a massive security breach in the United States national security system.
Inside the chat, the names of Vice President J.D. Vance, Hegseth, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and others.
It's a robust conversation. It's actually pretty impressive in some ways. They're going back and forth. A lot of resentment directed at European allies of the United States, which obviously enhanced the credibility of this chain, because everybody in the chain sounded like the people I know who are in this administration.
Vance, who is normally in lockstep with the president, texting the group at 8:16 on Friday, March 14th, saying, "I think we're making a mistake," pointing out that what's happening off the coast of Yemen affects European trade more than U.S. trade. "I am not sure the president is aware how inconsistent this is with his message on Europe right now," Vance says, and suggests delaying the strikes for a month. Hegseth responds to Vance 11 minutes later, saying, "Waiting a month does not fundamentally change the calculus." In what The Atlantic says is a screenshot of the Signal chat Goldberg was added to, at 8:45, Vance responding, "If you think we should do it, let's go. I just hate bailing out Europe again." Hegseth responding, "I fully share your loathing of European freeloading. It's pathetic." The next day, March 15th, at 11:44, Hegseth posts a team update revealing the strikes would commence in 2 hours. Goldberg says Hegseth shared operational details of forthcoming strikes, weapons deploying, and attack sequencing.
I receive a text in this chain from someone who claims to be Pete Hegseth, who provides what I would only call a war plan. It became sort of overwhelmingly clear to me that this was a real group. So I happen to be in my car. I sort of wait with my phone to see if this is a real thing. Sure enough, around 1:50 Eastern time, I see that Yemen is under attack.
According to Goldberg, the administration officials reacting after the strikes, "Excellent, a good start." Waltz even sending several emojis. The White House National Security Council confirming the authenticity of the thread, saying, "We are reviewing how an inadvertent number was added to the chain." But Hegseth last night blasting the report.
I've heard it was characterized, nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
Hours later, Goldberg describing again what he saw in those texts, disputing Hegseth's denial.
That's a lie. He was texting war plans. He was texting attack plans. When targets were going to be targeted, how they were going to be targeted, who was at the targets, when the next sequence of attacks were happening.
And when asked about The Atlantic's report Monday, the president saying he was unaware of the story.
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business.
Lawmakers across both sides of the aisle now demanding a full investigation. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, not mincing words, attacking Hegseth.
The Secretary of Defense, who was on that chain, has got to be the most unqualified person ever to lead the Pentagon in American history.
Tulsi Gabbard and John Ratcliffe will be on Capitol Hill today for a previously scheduled hearing where they are expected to be grilled. It was Steve Witkoff, the president's special envoy, who was in Russia while on the chat group, according to the timeline. And this morning, President Trump is now apparently well aware of the breach and mocking the reporter online. Robin?
All right, Martha. Thanks to you for your reporting.